that's the other thing, though. You say these things to people who are right-wing conservatives, and they're just, oh my God, we could never legalize prostitution. It's disgusting. It's horrible, whatever. While their husband or wife or whatever is going off and watching pornography when their husband or wife is away. And that's really all they're watching is somebody being prostituted for their pleasure and enjoyment, and they're paying for it. So it's no fucking different. All right. So the next topic, wow, we're going through these pretty fast. So far we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 of them. So we've got 37 more, but I'm not going through every one of them. I know we've got like 12 of them. So like 35 more or something. But probably going to go through like 20 more. Anyway, so that's the sex and gender category. Next, let's talk about what? Let's talk about science and technology. Okay, so science and technology. Well, okay, so the first thing we'll talk about are cell phones. So, when you okay, I've got a story about this as well, by the way. When you have a cell phone and you put it up to your head, that when the phone's on, just on, or specifically when it's in a call, there is a lot of radiation being generated from the phone. Actually, the same amount of generation comes from, same amount of radiation comes from your iPhone to your head as a microwave oven. As if you put your head up next to a microwave oven. It's the exact same amount of radiation that you would get. Okay, so it's not good. It's not good to have radiation next to your head. We all know that radiation can cause cancer. It can cause birth defects. It can cause all these other things. It can cause a lot of stuff going on in your body. And obviously, even small doses is dangerous. It's actually, no radiation is the only kind of radiation you should ever get. But people take risks and take chance to get x-rays and whatever, and use cell phones and things like that because they feel that it is safe enough. Okay. But it's never been safe. It's just safe-ish. It's the same for the droid, David, by the way. It's more, but anyway. What was I going to say? So the question is, are cell phones safe, and should they be used, continue to be used? Now, I want to tell you a very quick story. In 1999 to 2000, I worked, before I started my own business in 2000, I worked for this lady. Her name was Paula McClure, and she was on the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous after Robin Leach was on there by himself. She was one of his co-hosts, and she was on there, and she was also on what's that called? Total Recall, the first one. She was on TV there, whatever, as a reporter or whatever. Anyways, I worked for, she's kind of a B celebrity or whatever. So I worked for her for a while that year. Anyway, she literally was stuck on her cell phone all of the time. Even when she was in the office, she would be on her cell phone right next to her regular phone. Okay. She would sit in her car, and she had the phone up to her head probably 5 hours out of a day. And so I told her one day, I said, Paula, you're going to get a brain tumor if you don't stop using that phone so much. She's like, oh, whatever. And sure enough, about 6 months after I left working for her, she developed a brain tumor, and then a year later she was dead. And so I have always felt that since that happened, the correlation between how much I knew she used her cell phone, and she used it a lot. Okay, the correlation between how much she used her cell phone and the fact that she got a brain tumor on the side that she always held the phone, on her head, right next to her ear area, meant that there is a correlation between the radiation that comes from your cell phone and your head and cancer possibly. So I rarely use my cell phone like normal, like in my car, there's a Bluetooth or whatever. So it comes up on the screen. Right. And so, yes, Frankville, that's her. So when I'm in my car, it comes up on the screen. Right. So I don't have to actually use it up to my head, and usually when I have it out and about, I'm on the speakerphone if I'm at home or something, if I use it. And so I use a headset when I'm out usually. So sometimes I have it up to my head, but I don't usually have it up to my head. So for me, I don't really have an issue. I don't think going to get anything, but people who use it a lot. Okay. Well, David says he uses his phone 24/7. So You might want to be careful with that, David. You might want to get Bluetooth or use a headset when you use your phone. I mean, it's just your health we're talking about. And just think about it. Okay, so that's that one. The next is climate change, as also referred to as global warming. One second. By the way, I am drinking some of the sponsor of our show tonight. I'm not drinking alcohol tonight, by the way. That's coming up later in the week. I'm drinking my SodaStream, which I've mentioned many times on the show. I'll mention it one more time. SodaStream is an amazing invention. You can create your own soda at home for free. You can just buy this one device and make your own soda anytime you want. All you have to do is put in your bottle up into the container and twist it in there. Press 3 times and you have carbonated water. You can add lime to it, whatever, or you can add one of our flavors. And I like, personally, the ginger ale or the cranberry raspberry or the orange soda flavors. They are all good, and they're all no sugar at all. So they have some with stevia or whatever, I think, as well. So anyway, you should get it if you don't have it. That's all I drink at home. It's fantastic, and it's just changed my life. Because before that, I used to drink Crystal Light, and Crystal Light's the devil because there's aspartame in it. And anyway, I drank that for many years, and I thought maybe I was going to get cancer from that. But just so you know. So back to climate change. So do you or do you not believe that global warming or climate change is real? Anybody in the chat room, what do you think? Do you think global warming is real, or do you think it is a hoax? What are your thoughts on global warming? Because I'm curious, because people have differing opinions about it. I personally know that global warming is not a hoax. I don't want to say anything else about it until I hear somebody say what they think, because I don't want to call anybody any names before I know what you think. So what do you think, people? Hello? Yes, you think it's real. David thinks it's real. What about you, Ken? Do you think it's real? Climate, you're kidding me. I know you're kidding, Ken. You're not that stupid, right? See, I already did it. I already called you stupid. I'm sorry. You're not that ignorant, right? You really believe that climate change is a hoax? Is that what you think, honestly? Say yes or no. I'm sorry I called you ignorant and stupid. I'm sorry. That just came out. I'm sorry. But do you really think that's a hoax? Hello? Do you think it's a hoax or not? Say yes or no or something. Hello? David says, but he read an article today that's saying scientists really didn't know. Did you read that on Fox News' website or something? Hoax. Okay. Ken Boggle thinks it's a hoax. Okay, good. Finally we have something we disagree on, for God's sakes. Okay, so... Okay. The thing is this, is that global warming, the thing is this, the facts are this. Over the 20th century, over the course of the 20th century, temperatures around the globe have risen up to almost 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. And the 99% of the world's top scientists and climatologists, or whatever the fuck they're called, and meteorologists, and people like that, all those kind of people, the top scientists in the world agree that global warming, climate change is real. All you have to do is look around you to see that the climate is changing. Now, yes, there are times in history where the climate has changed. However, the thing is this, is how precipitous the change has been from one extreme to another has never been ever, literally ever, what it is now, what it's been since the industrialized nations of this world have begun to pump CO2 into the atmosphere during the industrial ages and up until now even. So we're continually pumping in CO2 into the atmosphere, okay? And the greenhouse gases, that's caused by us, human beings. That's caused by human beings, and therefore that's global warming is what's caused by. And they're highest they've ever been in the past 650,000 years ever. And so, I mean, to say that there's not something weird or fishy or janky going on right now is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my whole life, because it is absolutely positively true. Let's see what they're saying in the chat room. No, it was on the Smithsonian Channel. Well, that's good. At least you're not watching Fox. No, we disagreed earlier this week. We'll eventually end up in another ice age. It has been so for millions of years. Regardless of how much a cow farts in Wyoming, we will freeze again. It is fact and nothing we can do to stop it. Well, Ken Boggle, we're not going into an ice age. Okay, first of all, ice ages, yes. Well, there will be another ice age again because there would be an ice age again because it's the pattern of the Earth. However, there won't be an ice age if the Earth is warming up, Ken. The Earth has to cool off. If the Earth were cooling down, we'd be going to an ice age right now. The Earth is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. The sea levels are rising. We're having higher and higher and higher instances of huge, enormous 1,000-year storms and hurricanes and earthquakes. Shit's going on, volcanoes and shit even. So, I mean, to say that the Earth is going to cool off anytime soon is ridiculous, first of all. But I think that to say we're going that direction is also ridiculous. But anyway, whatever. I mean, you can think what you want. We freeze and thaw, nothing to stop that, blah, blah, blah. And no one ever said we would. But that's not what we're doing. We're not thawing right now. We're not in an ice age right now. So anyway, I think it's the most ridiculous thing that people who don't believe that global warming actually exists. And even if it didn't exist, it doesn't matter if you believe it's human-made or if it's as a result of some kind of cyclical cycle that the Earth goes through. It doesn't, and it has nothing to do with human intervention. Even if you don't believe one way or the other, it doesn't matter. The point is the Earth. The things that we're doing to this Earth, the things that we're doing to... I drive a BMW, thank you. The things we're doing to this Earth actually affect the planet. The things that we're doing to this Earth, there are direct causation and consequences of things that we as human beings have done to our planet, are doing to our planet every day, that we are already beginning to see the consequences of. So it doesn't matter if you believe in global warming or you don't, because regardless of what you believe, there are consequences to our actions as human beings and what it does to this planet. Do you really believe that throughout the entire time of human history, we have never, in the entire time of human history, let me repeat that again, ever pumped into the atmosphere all of the CO2 that we've been doing and all the things that have happened? We've never had into industry the things that we have now, and coal going in the air and everything else that we do now, ever before. And so, yeah, things like the ice age and things like that have happened in the past. Of course they have. And they will continue to occur if we don't fuck up our planet in time. But it doesn't make sense why it's like you have no scientific understanding. You have no understanding of science. Science tells you, this is where I get so frustrated, because people who don't believe in logic, and they confound me personally. I'm a very logical thinker, even though I have some spiritual beliefs or whatever. Generally, I would say 99% of what I think is very logically based. And I believe, science is something that I believe in. The sky is blue. The sky is blue because of nitrogen and oxygen. The grass is green because of chlorophyll. The sun is yellow because of what we see through scattered rays or whatever in the sky and the light. And these things happen. These things are that the earth is round, is not flat. These things are things that we know as fact, regardless of what you may think. So just because you think something that's outside of science is to be true, if it's conflicting with science, which you believe in to some degree because you believe in these things I just mentioned, you agree with science on these things, but you don't agree with science when they tell you that the earth is getting fucked up, makes no sense to me at all. All right, next topic. So that's science and technology. Next, we're going to talk about media and entertainment. Let's see if I can play the thing here. Hold on. Where is it? Here it is. Science and entertainment. No, media and entertainment. Excuse me. So, the first two things we're going to talk about in this are video games and violence, and social networking. First, we'll quickly talk about video games and violence. Do violent video games contribute to youth violence? Do you think they do, or do you not? I do not think that they contribute to violence at all. I think that they give people ideas on how people who are already violent ideas on how to